So that building evacuated before private buildings would have. I did not know this was technically a government building. I would find this out from a source that not everybody, from Wikipedia, but I think it's accurate. There is a historical sign on the site in front of this building. It's also a data hotel carrier. So for people in the world of IT and everything else, they kind of get that. I guess they could target people if they had data on your ass for some reason and were playing a game like a reverse Holocaust, or I don't know. Or if you're considered not totally, what do you call it? Who's targeted, and could you be considered not really part of the Nazi class? So anyway, this is a new building here, Broad and Noble. Thank you, you're welcome. So we'll go by it really quick. We're on Broad Street here. It's across from the school district of Philadelphia. I substitute taught a long time ago in Delaware and then again in Florida, and every single time, really bad experiences. So you have to, I don't know who actually succeeds in that world. So anyway, some sort of school in Newcastle. It was like 7th and 8th grade. Private school is easier for people who are basically mild-mannered is putting it, basically respectful. Like if you're basically a good person and you don't really stir up trouble or want thing, then you'll be okay-ish probably in a private school. No offense, but ouch. So I just, I never was a troublemaker in school either, so I don't really identify with kids. Like I understand it because I know kids grow up in really bad environments. I understand that from a therapist point of view. But across the street there, that used to be the Enquirer building, the big white building there, which is the Philadelphia Enquirer. Now it's police headquarters. Scary, right? From one extreme to the other, because usually in the world of writing, you would have to, it'd be a, especially in Philadelphia, usually that's a liberal world. Although our cops are said to be liberal, but still, they have to exercise certain things, and super liberal people don't even understand why it needs to be used, We don't want to have to deal with the drama and bad behavior or anything. Like, we're already like sensitive, so we wouldn't do anything. So I know that's an overarching statement, but anyway. So we'll go up here and see this plaque here. So see how this was supposed to be a food cart, like it was like a train food cart. It was never open when I worked in this building from 2000 to 2003, June of 2000 to June of 2003. Those rings down there. There's been speculation that some groups expose high-level criminal rings that are wreaking havoc on communities. I don't know if it's true, but that's what someone told me. I was like, so it shows up in architecture and stuff? It's weird. So anyway, what if your architecture could tell a story? Alright, so this, neutrality, you don't want to call them a net. Your journey to the cloud. I'm hoping the cloud is good and doesn't mean death, like a Holocaust. You see how there could be double meaning and you wouldn't know it? It's like a Robert Plant song. I used to go in these stores for years. Not for this company. It's like an X. Or a spider. Tarantula or a black widow spider with long legs. Heroes is upside down. This is Building Heroes up there. I was watching this other YouTuber, and he keeps going to this block house in Tennessee, like an historical site. And it, you know, when I see the word block, I think of that. But I also think of protesters, like they're called black bloc, but it'd be everyone's wearing black, and they're like kind of on the radical side. So during the Trump campaigning in 2016. This is what it says here, but I don't know if they're being totally honest. So this says it is an architectural and engineering landmark that combined with a freight station with a storage and office building for Reading Railroad. But it is part of the historical society. I don't know if they're being totally honest, like which history is correct. So when you're in there, it just goes on and on, way back for a whole long city block. So the blocks this way are incredibly long. And it's just like, I could see where it would be like a big gigantic facility. Like where I work, North American Publishing Company, they didn't use all of the space. And it was just like all this empty warehouse space in the back. They did have archives of magazines that they published. But still, it was like they barely filled it up. It was just like, you know, kind of like a library back there. That's pushing it, but, you know, they didn't really put a lot of money into making it seem like a super neat. It was kind of governmental-ish. You know how government buildings are kind of like drab and icky, and there's nothing sophisticated in there, nothing warm and cozy to make everything look good. It was like that. So, anyway. I wasn't gonna talk, but we brought it up anyway. So the Packard building's similar, and I think the U-Haul facility's back in there somewhere. This is an apartment building. Packard Motor Car. I think of Carson. What if we are viewed as cars or vessels that can be steered around? Who's at the steering wheel? Who's at the wheel? You know, that kind of thing. What if Philly's like a master of that kind of stuff? Like, we have to keep people out here for the show. You can't have a dead city with everyone sort of working 9 to 5 and nothing going on the streets. Yeah. Pearl Street at Roman Catholic. Make sure you get your oysters in. That's a joke. Yeah. So not every building has these plaques, these historical landmark signs or whatever. Like a private building probably wouldn't. So it begs the question, which companies, are some companies owned by the government?